All right, well, guess what? Today is the day. What day you say it might be? Well, it's time to finally install a water block on the 4090 Strix. Now, I know I've been talking about this. You guys have been seeing my shorts, not my shorts, but my YouTube shorts. And I've been talking about the Corsair one, and I've been talking about how to install that water block, that particular one on the 4090 Strix, but I couldn't really film it because of unforeseen incidents. But now we're here, got another 4090 Strix, and I got an EK Quantum Vector² water block. It's a nickel acetal, and I'm excited because I'm gonna show you guys from point A to point Z. Did I say it right? Anyway, from the beginning steps to the ending steps on how to install this thing. So in case you guys are doing this at home, you guys are gonna be able to do this with a breeze. So yeah, we got everything here. We got the ASUS Strix right over here. This is the OC edition, and we got a Quantum Vector². This is the newest water block. It's not with the active backplate, it's just with a regular backplate. So this is gonna be fun. I've done this so many times. I don't see how I can mess up. Hopefully I don't mess up, but let's get started. Okay, so first what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip the graphics card on its front side, okay? That's the first thing. We're gonna check out the screws so we see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws we're gonna have to take out. So let's start by doing that. All right, so we'll start with this one. Is this one too big? There you go. Make sure you guys keep these screws with you and don't go screwless. All right, there's another one. Another one. You're losing all your screws, buddy. Okay, so that should be it. Now we got 4 that are holding the GPU in place. Cool. Cool, so we put this aside, and now I believe, I don't know if these need to come off, but we will take them off just in case. Yes, so you do actually need to remove the IO shield, so or the IO bracket, so we're gonna remove those as well, and you might have to remove these little plastic thingies. I don't know what you call these, but GPU slot protectors or port protectors, whatever they're called. Super annoying because they goddamn hurt. They hurt. Okay, we're almost there, and boom. Boom, boom, boom. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws here that you're gonna need to take out, and I'm gonna try to flip this and show the camera right here. 8 screws, you got to take these out, and actually, to be honest with you, I don't know if you need to take them out. It looks like you do, but even if you don't have to, it's not so hard to put them back. So let's just do it. Let's just do it. You hear that a lot. Let's just do it. So we got this. Remember, guys, put your screws somewhere. All right. Now the thing is, also keep in mind, you really don't need to water cool these graphics cards because these coolers are so much better than previous years that, like, you know, unless you're really like pushing your GPU to the max with overclocking, or you're just an enthusiast like I am and you just want the best performance and the best thermals, then okay, but really you don't need to put a water block on your GPU. Again, it's an enthusiast thing, and it's not like the past where coolers suck. They're actually pretty much really good. All right, so we removed the IO shield or the IO bracket, whatever you want to call it, and now the backplate should just come off very easily. But remember, there is some thermal pads. There you go. Yep, there it is. We got 3 thermal pads back here. And actually this one is not a bad one because usually you find the thermal pads all stuck to the memory chips and it becomes a hot mess. So anyway, there are 2 fan cables that we do need to take apart, and you can see them right there. If you can, we got one right here and one right there. So, and actually we might have another one, but anyway, let's do it. So these are the cables. What you want to do is you want to unplug one and then another one, and then actually I guess there was another one too that we can just go ahead and it should come out. There we go. Boom. And there you go. And what I like to do is I like to get these thermal pads and put them right where they were, but on the cooler. So that way, if you guys need to do any kind of RMA or anything like that, return anything, it's right there. You really don't need to, you know, go through the hassle of finding some thermal pads to buy, and everything is just right there. And do this very gently. I have experience where this is what happens. This is what happens, where you just rip them, and because, well, it's natural because, you know, they've been pressed down on and it's just, you know, gets stuck. But anyway, okay, so now we got our isopropyl alcohol. This is 91%, and I recommend going for something 91% because, you know, it's not gonna damage your GPU. And what we're gonna do is we are going to, I had a trash can somewhere here, which I can't find anymore. Oh, it's right here. Oh, grab it, grab it, grab it. Okay. So that's way we don't make things super messy. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just clean off some of this excess thermal paste. All right, and look at this already. It's starting to come off a lot of it. And don't worry if you can't get all of it off. It doesn't need to be pristine. You just need to get most of it off. So that way, when you're applying your new thermal paste, you're not gonna have any kind of issues, and it's gonna be like a brand new GPU. A very clean looking, very, very clean looking, spotless. I'm not gonna do the back because the back looks like it's just like nothing even touched the back. So now that we have this going, let's take out our Vector² water block. Duplexy, and I wanted to change, you know, I wanted something a little bit different, but it looks beautiful nonetheless. It looks fabulous, and I think the black is gonna give it a new flavor. And plus you got some RGB right here, and you have RGB on the back side as well. But this is the back plate. Looks pretty dope, looks pretty sick. I'm digging it. Go to your manual, you're gonna see either O2 or nothing, and in this case this is a nothing, a big old zero. When I'm saying zero, like there's nothing there. So this is a revision 1 because they have 2 revisions out on this thing. So yeah, that's good to know. So yeah, make sure you guys do that, because if you don't, it's gonna be a not a cold day, it's gonna be a warm day for you. Try to do the best you can when you're cutting. It doesn't have to be super perfect, as long as it makes contact and it covers the chips, the chiplets, then you're fine. Just don't waste these thermal pads, because this is all you got, ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, so one will go right here. It should be good contact. That is good contact, okay. There's a bottom film here. Make sure you guys remove that. Do not just put the thermal pads on there. Remove this, okay, and can leave it right here. Make sure you guys put that on nice. And we got the first one on. Do the same thing, unpeel the plastic, and at the end, guys, don't forget you need to take off another piece of plastic that's good off, another one that's at the top, and you guys should be squared away. So there you go. So now we got the top. So we have 2 more thermal pads to install on the front side before we move on to the back. So this is gonna be these chokes right here and these memory chiplets next to it. So let's get that going so we can finish this up. Put it right here, and now what we can just do is take this off, and voila, we got that set in there, and it will fit just perfectly right in there, and boom. Now we are going to use a little precision tweezers to remove the top part. We need to remove the top part. Do not install the water block without removing the protective cover or the protective wrap. So we got the thermal pads on the front side installed. Looks great. Okay, and before we move on and install the water block, let's just make sure we got all of them on. Okay, now that everything, all the thermal pads are installed, let's apply some thermal paste. I'm going to be using some Kingpin cooling, very good cooling, KPX. I use this for all of my GPUs. So we're just going to go ahead and do an X, nothing to worry about. And when we attach the water block, this side is going to be facing up, so it's going to be a lot easier. Or actually, you know what we should do? Scratch that. We're going to go ahead and put this right here. We're going to go ahead and put this right here. And then we're going to flip this around and put it like this. So now that we got that set up on there, we just have to double check, make sure everything was aligned. And now that we see everything is aligned, we should be able to screw these points in, and we're gonna use these to install first around the GPU die, get that secured, and then move our way around where we need to. So you wanna go ahead and tighten this up well. So we got the front plate installed, looks beautiful. Yeah, it wasn't that hard. We just had to look at the manual, a few things, because it was a little bit of a different install. So now that we have the front water block installed, there was one thing that I noticed. I didn't actually get to record it, but I was having an issue where right here, the holes on the back plate were not aligning with the screws. And right now, it looks like it should be fine. But if you have that same issue, I'm just looking at everything right now. If you have that same issue, install the shield before you put the screws in for the front water block. That way it can align a lot better, and I think that should have done it for me. So we're gonna now move on to the next stage, and that's gonna be putting the thermal pads on top of putting thermal pads on the back. So let's go ahead and do that. So this one's gonna go like this. There you go. Okay, we got that set up. Actually, it says use the full length, so we're gonna use the full length because actually the picture shows that it's a big piece, so we really don't need to cut it. We're just gonna go ahead and cover it. Good, like that. Okay, that's perfect. We got the 2mm ones out of the way. Now let's go ahead and put the 1.5mm, which is gonna be right here. These ones, which is gonna be right in between the 1mm and the 2mm. You'll be able to tell the size difference, and we're gonna cover this part, right? And then one up there. So this one shouldn't be too hard, and we're pretty much done after that. So let's cut this into size. Like that. And then the last one is gonna just cover this whole thing, which we really don't need to cut. Yeah, because this is, well, maybe just a little bit. So we'll cut a little bit off. See how that one goes. Now I like to do some at a time, like this. There you go. You know, I like these captive back plates a lot better because you don't need to worry about any kind of screws getting missing or anything like that. There you have it. A water block, EKWB water block installed on a 4090 Strix. Looks beautiful. All right, so there it is. The 4090 water block, or should I say the 4090 Strix water block from EKWB has been installed and it looks really good. Absolutely it was pretty easy when we got through some of the hard parts, like some of the screws at the back, they weren't aligning so well. We got past that, so everything else went pretty easy afterwards. Just remember, one advice I can give you is make sure you cut the thermal pads up to size and don't waste any, because they pretty much don't give you a whole lot. So yeah, this has been a very fun time, because this was a whole new installation process, completely different than the other times. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and it's a pretty long video, but I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna find this very useful. And yeah guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and throw a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Helps me out a lot. And if you like more content from this channel, then go ahead and subscribe, and you'll be seeing more content coming your way. And as always guys, appreciate your support, and I'll catch you on the next one.